I don't hear myself through my headphones. Yes, man. Like, I feel real good about this right now.
Pay attention, because you are now listening to Permission to Speak Freely.
I mean, today we went to the African American History Museum.
Okay.
In DC.
Okay.
It was good. I mean, my legs, man, it's big.
A lot of walking,
you know what I'm saying? So like, yeah. So like the Middle Passage and like 1700s and all of that stuff, 1800s, slavery, all that stuff is like on the bottom floor, the bottom level. And it like, man, it'll take you like over an hour just to get through that level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before you even get to like civil rights and stuff. It's a lot of reading and stuff like that. So we did that with like the Cell of the Year candidates today. And then before then we went to another museum, the Museum of like Natural Sciences. And then we went to like the food trucks, took a picture outside the Lincoln Memorial. Matter of fact, we took a picture outside the Washington Monument. We, and it was cool. Like some senior chiefs and some junior Cell of the Year candidates. Stuff like that. It was fun. I mean, I always have a good time just talking to sellers and not really announcing my rank, like not really telling them like what my rank is.
Yeah, man.
Before last Friday, we did a Comrail. It was like a food drive. So we was like bagging up food and potatoes and tuna, like all types of stuff to give out, to the community. And I mean, like, it's been so long since I've done something like that in the Navy. Like, it was refreshing, man. Like, I actually miss like doing that type of stuff, like going out in the community. And when I first joined, we did that type of stuff a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like always. And like even like probably going up before, COVID or going up before sea duty, the last sea duty, we did that stuff a lot. You know what I mean? And I thought like we were running out of people that wanted to do that, but we had a nice group of people, man. We had a good time, man. We caught the subway, like we caught the metro to get to where we needed to get. It was just a good time.
Yeah. That sounds like fun, man. You're right though about the Comrail thing, man. I couldn't tell you I think the last time I did a Comrail, man, was when we was in I think we stopped was it Hawaii? I think we did a Comrail out there. As a mess, but I think that's like the last time I've done a Comrail. So I know that sounds like some fun, man. I had a pretty intriguing week too, man. We got an emergency to fly up to Washington and do an inspection on a ship up there, man. Like out the blue, just like, hey, it's Monday. I need you up there by Wednesday, That's getting tickets, that's getting all the range, that's DTS. That's a lot of stuff going on. Because the prior weeks I was in Hawaii like 3 weeks in a row. Then now we come back. Think we finna, have a week off. Then you had to shoot up to Washington State. So that's kind of how it was, man. But it isn't my job now. It ramped up though. Like for inspection wise, man, we are like I may have a week off, but now I'm finna be like at least every week on a ship, probably to like middle May. Then I probably get like 1 week, then go back. Same thing, but. It's that time now, man. COVID over. COVID pretty much done now. So a lot of ships got backed up. So we at it now, man. It's go time. But I'm ready for it, man. I'm kind of in the same form, man. When I go on ships, man, I love talking to young sailors, talking to young people, and people who've been in for a while too. But I love interacting, going in there and talking to people. So it's pretty, and in that way, it's pretty exciting. But other than that, man, that's how my week's been, man, here lately. But I always been thinking about the pod, man. We didn't do nothing last week, so I'm happy to be back, happy to be on here, happy to put stuff out. Because I know people ready for us, man. They listening to us, man. So we gotta make sure we put some shit out, man.
Hey, so what constitutes an emergency underway? I mean, an emergency inspection. Like what the fuck? Like what's an emergency inspection?
I know it doesn't make sense, but I'm gonna leave it like that. I know it don't make sense. I can't get into detail.
So I'm guessing somebody needs some remedy. I don't know what the details are, but I'm guessing somebody need some remediation. Like they messed up beyond repair. Like it
Yeah,
was
man.
FUBAR
Yeah, some stuff
or something
happened,
like
man. And we
that.
had to go
So,
up there and take a look.
somebody was fucked up beyond repair, all repair. So they needed some, and I don't know what the story is, y'all. So
Yeah.
if it's true, it's true. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
man.
but I'm sure
Yeah.
somebody was messed up beyond repair, so y'all had to go do emergency. I just never heard of that. Like,
Yeah,
an emergency
you probably haven't heard that term. That's my term. Besides saying what really like went down.
Remediation.
Yeah. I just besides what really went down.
Crazy.
So
it's also funny because we hooked up with a bunch of different people from the region. So it was some khaki, junior sellers. It's funny because you get to talking, and every now and then like something might come up. I don't run around saying that I do the podcast or nothing like that, right? But it just happened to come up in sometime in conversation. And I got the Death of PowerPoint shirt on, and I had that on today. So it come up in conversation, and the dude's like, and he's like, well, what's the name of your podcast? I'm like, Permission to Speak Freely. Dude's like, oh shit. He's like, yeah, like I'm familiar. Like I listen to that. You know what I'm saying? What about Stellas? He's like, oh, senior. Like, cause he was around in the vicinity. He's oh, senior, you famous. I said, no, like not at all. I'm not famous at all. And the dude pulled it up, and I realized he was like, I looked at his phone. He had Spotify. I don't know if he followed us or not, but if you don't, and please follow us on Spotify if you don't. But he pulled out his phone and he had the Fleet Tim Stalker episode. I saw like it looked like he finished that one. So I'm like, okay, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You did listen to us. I said, it's time to get back on that train, man. Like, it's time to get back on that PCSF train, man.
Hey, so
like Damon said.
Same thing kind of happened to me. Not necessarily that, but so people are finding out about the pod. I mean, it's no doubt. I mean, it's reaching people, right? So I'm at Sailor 360 training, right? Doing training, and this guy was like, put me on the pod, man. Like I'm ready to be on the pod. But see, no one, then everybody, like time he says that in a big forum, says like 30, 40 people. And then all of a sudden everybody was like, what we talking about? He got a podcast? So that's how our conversation started. And then I end up finding out I'm here talking 5 to 10 minutes on like stuff we talk about or whatever the case may be. People phones out, looking it up. What's the name of it? So things like that, it's happening, man. So it's a good thing though. I don't hear too much like bad stuff. People ain't, saying nothing too crazy. So man, it's all good news, man. Bad or good with me, I don't care. But it's it's a good thing though, man.
Yeah, bad or good. Just be tasteful, man. Don't be hateful.
Yeah.
Don't be weird.
Yeah.
I had a couple people be weird, and like, some older retired people were like really some real old retired dudes, nothing against older or retired people, but in this case, the people that was being weird was older and retired, and like the back in my time, people, but it was homophobic. And I'm like, man, I don't need our audience kind of, seeing that. Like we don't really mess around in that swim lane.
Yeah, man.
I mean, like I can't. Yeah. So if you're gonna rip us, but just don't be like homophobic.
Yeah.
And especially with in the.
Dude, you speaking of that back in my day thing, man. Like I remember when I came here, I used to say that too. Right. But I started to learn real quickly, man. This is a adapt Navy, man. You got to adapt to what's coming, man. If you ain't adapting, you're gonna be lost, man, in the weeds, man. You know what I mean? You have to adapt to the situations and things that's going on in the Navy now. If you don't adapt, you might well just go ahead and put your paperwork in, man. You know what I mean? It's a wrap for you.
What Kanye say? Old folks talking about back in my day. Well, homie, this is my day.
Exactly.
That's
man.
oh yeah. That's the oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
homie,
man.
This is my day. Yeah, like yes, and that's. I mean, I'm sure that's how a seller would feel. It's funny because I was having a really good conversation with dog handlers, man. Dog handlers, MAs that work with dogs all day, and I'm like, man, it's probably like refreshing, that you work with dogs all day instead of like humans, right? Like, like you don't got to deal with you crazy.
Well, it's probably hold on. It's probably refreshing to the MAs, right? Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you, and this is no MA hate. I'm not no MA hate right now, but I did for we talk about old days. So back in my day, I did 95-45, right, which is work security. As second class, back they don't do it no more because they got enough MAs to do it now. But back in the day, they didn't have enough, right?
Yeah.
So I did it. And I used to have to, on my watch, I used to have to go out there and feed the dogs and all that stuff. When I was like watch commander, I had to make sure all this stuff was done on my watch, right? At night when I had the night watch or whatever the case may be, right? And you had the MAs who tends to the dogs also. But I tell you this, man, them damn dogs, boy, you go in there, them damn dude, they in cages, man, scaring me to damn death, man.
For sure.
They scaring me to death still. I didn't do. I was one of them dudes. I did not want to go in there and mess with them dogs. They barking, man. They jumping on the fence, and I don't know none of the little word. I'm just like, man, y'all need to calm down, dude. They like, it was like crazy, man, crazy. Yeah. But the MAs,
that's different though, because you that dude that's forced to go in. You gotta feed the canines,
and they don't know me.
MAs, the MAs, they get assigned like a dog. They get assigned a dog to like tend to, so they build a bond. I'm like, y'all dudes build bonds with these dogs and stuff. He's like, yeah,
they do.
Like, and I'm asking them all types of questions, like how young y'all get the dogs, how long do y'all keep the dogs, stuff like that. They we pretty much keep the dogs till they can't, work anymore. I'm like, well, what's your day consist of? They like, we might have to take them to the vet. It was like real interesting, and it's like, but they build a bond. He's like, yo, when I'm like upset, like I just go and hang out with the dog. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just thinking about like it, like damn, yo, because you deal with humans, you deal with like as per my last emails, like you deal with like people and whatever like issues they got going on, and I'm like, with dogs, what you see is what you get every single day. You know what I'm saying? You don't got no passive aggressive like dogs or nothing like that or whatever. So
yeah, man,
I was like, that got to be pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with it being fun. You're right though. If they own the dog and with them most of the time, like all the time, they're around the dog. They ain't got to. And then the training aspect too. Most of those dogs probably either already trained or you training them or whatever the case may be. So you ain't got to worry about them shitting all over your vehicle and shit like that either, though.
Yeah, you got to work out with them. You could take them with you when you go on runs.
Yeah,
it's just pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. I talked to a detailer today too. I'm like, hey, dude, like whenever you get a chance, man, like hit us up. Like he's also a command scene chief now, but I'm like, hit us up, man. Like,
okay,
we trying to talk to a detailer. I ain't telling him about like, the plans for the conversation. You know what I mean?
Just get him on. Just get him on. We got you.
He was on Don't Give Up the Ship before, so he knows how it goes.
Good, you know what I'm saying? Good. So with that being said, you guys hit us up in them comments. You guys got anything for any subject, anything, and when we get them on, we got you.
Yeah. And I mean, please take the time, man, to hate doing this, but like take the time to write a review, man. Our reviews kind of dried up, man. Take the time to write a review, man. A couple more. We need to keep them reviews, flowing or whatever. The last review that was written was from my wife that I wrote. And I spelled something wrong. And I told my wife was like, now you got me looking. I was like, you should have wrote the review.
Mm-hmm. I agree, so man.
I'm here faking the funk, man. We need some reviews, man. I can't keep writing reviews. I'm about to write one from my mom.
Yeah, man.
Or whatever like that. I know how she feel about it. She like Damon. She hate Damo. That's just the way the podcast goes,
moms love everybody. Moms love everybody.
And my mom, I've been talking to my mom all week, man. My mom find a way to disagree with me, man, all the time, man. My mom, she probably think I do that.
She probably think,
shoot something down. Yeah, she find a way to shoot something down that I had to say. But yeah, so outside of that, man, it's I've been doing visits. I'm about to go back to Camp David again soon. I just been like,
we know somebody in Camp. Oh, what's called in Camp David? Jess, right? Is that Camp David?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's pretty cool.
I'm gonna see her when I go.
Nice.
We kind of talked about it already, so I'm gonna see her when I go out there. But a lot of stuff happened, man. A lot of stuff happened that we didn't get to talk about. And starting with this Tyler Jenkins thing, man. So when I first saw the story, it was like automatically like funny to me. Because it's one of them Jody, stories. We lost life here. And this was even before I knew that it was a sailor who got killed. But it was just one of those like it's this shit happens like often. You know what I mean? So I'll read a little bit. Seller allegedly shot wife's boyfriend 3 times in Virginia Beach, killing him. Police arrested Tyler Jenkins, 26. They said the U.S. Navy sailor admitted he shot his wife's boyfriend after he caught, them having sex. He shot him 3 times, right? And then he kind of chilled out and waited for the police to get there. What am I doing wrong? Did y'all get the gun that I shot him with? She called the police. And then the dude was 28 years old and he was in the Navy too, and that's that part hit me because I'm like, damn, it's like seller on seller. But it says Jenkins' wife told police she was engaged in a sexual act with Tyler at the time of the shooting. She told investigators she feared for her life because she thought Jenkins was going to try to shoot both of them, but he only, shot and killed the dude that she was fucking. So, what's your thoughts on that, man?
Well, my thoughts is that first off, I said I wrote down exactly, the same thing you just said, man. This happens way too often. You know what I mean? This is one of those things, man. And I guess the biggest thing about it, man, if you guys, if I was talking from a dad or a father or a mentor or anything that talking from that standpoint, I'd be like, why get in a relationship if you know you're not happy, right? That's the first thing I will talk about is like things like that. But my thoughts on the killing, that's why I got a little bit of a problem with, man. Like, because I feel like it's you never know what the guy know she was married? Who knows? We don't know this whole story or what the case may be, right? So we don't know those things. So we didn't kill this guy, and we don't even know the young lady could have been telling him the whole time that she's single, she's whatever, and we don't even know, right? So we
don't know the story.
Yeah, that's saying we don't know the story. I'm just going by
Tyler Jenkins might.
He might know the story. Could be his friend. I mean, best friend. We don't know, but from an outside looking in, that's the first thing I know. How much information did he know before he killed him? This could be an ongoing thing. He could have been warned a couple times. We just don't know all that stuff. But taking a life is a serious thing, man. So if you are in a situation where you feel like you need to take someone's life, it has to be something really, really serious going on, man. Now, if I was put in his shoes, I don't see myself doing the same thing. You know what I mean?
So what would you do? Like, so you come in the crib, right? And we just permission to speak freely. So you come in the crib and your old lady getting clapped up by somebody. Like you come in the crib, somebody clapping cheeks, man. Like cheeks are being clapped.
Yeah. You can make it how you want it. You try to make it worse than what it is. Hey, it happens. Look.
Clapping the cheeks. Yeah. What you don't like, it ain't like you heard about it. It ain't like you like knew about it and whatever. You come in the crib and sexual acts. Now it could be, that part of sex. It could be oral. Who knows what's happening? But you come in the house and sexual acts. That's what they said. They was engaged in sexual acts. Yeah. So you come in the crib and your old lady engaged in sexual acts. What are you doing?
It's one of those things where you can say what you're going to say until some shit like that happens.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm going to tell you right now what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling I'm going to do. I'm pretty much telling old boy he needs to get the fuck out of there, or he can help her get her shit and get the fuck out of there. You know what I mean? That's kind of like my first. No. That's not like my first thing.
No, right now I'm busy. Can't you see I'm busy?
Oh, no. Now I'm going to put hands on
you guys
no. Yeah. So like, I'm finna force him out then though. No, if he says some shit like that, he about to get forced out by any means necessary. Then that's different, man. That's a whole bro. You in there doing your thing and then got nerves to fucking talk shit back. Like, oh hell no,
I'm busy, bro. Like, it's crazy. So somebody was just telling me a story. They said a dude came in, caught his wife having sex with a dude. He want to like fight the dude, like he wanted to whip the dude's ass, and the dude killed him, right? And the dude got off because it was a crime of passion. Only thing dude really got in trouble for was like adultery or whatever. And my thought process is it's like
Which
some
dude
scenarios.
got off?
It's a whole different story.
I
The
know,
dude that
but
got off is the dude that was messing with the other dude's wife.
Oh,
so a
shit.
husband comes in the crib, he catch a dude clapping cheeks, right? And he try to fight the dude. The dude kills him and then gets off because it's a crime of passion and it's self-defense. Well, he got off more for the self-defense aspect of it. And all he got in trouble for was like adultery. And I was telling the dude, I'm like, yo, it's crazy. Like, I got like this unwritten code that like some fights should be won by certain people. So like the husband that catch the the husband that what you laughing about, man?
You said let him win. Like, you got
yeah, like yo, go ahead, whoop my ass. I'm gonna get up out of here. Like you're not about to whoop the ass of the dude that wife you. Like the husband supposed to win that,
Hey,
or like
man.
when the person finally fight the bully back, like when they've been getting bullied for like 3 years. Imagine you getting bullied for 3 years, you finally fight the bully back, and then you get your ass whipped. Like it's like, yeah, in movies it's like a moral victory, but in real life you supposed to win that fight.
Yeah, man. But,
you know what I'm saying? Like you supposed. My sister told me the story that she was like, back in her day when she was young, we talk about it. But she was bullying the girl. And then like one day, like the girl's sister came. She wasn't supposed to beat that girl's sister. Like the girl's sister was supposed to win.
yeah.
And then her and the girl's sister became friends. It's certain fights you supposed to win. You the husband, you catch your wife cheating. If you proceed to fight that dude, you supposed to whip his ass. He's not supposed to beat you. Right? However, in that story, the dude killed the husband. Ain't really getting too much trouble. In this story, though, Tyler Jenkins kills this guy. We don't know much more about it. It's probably more about it that's been like disclosed, but I haven't done the research there. Now, it's a couple things I do know. I think Tyler is pushing for like this dude was in my house.
Yeah.
Having sex with my wife. Like thought process. Because I did read like something about that. Like I think Tyler's looking at it like, I don't know who this dude was. I'm in here protecting my house.
Trespassing.
That's why he stayed.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that's why he stayed till the cops came.
Yeah. It is something out there about somebody coming in your house, but this dude already in your house. I don't know.
Yeah, but he got his clothes folded up at the bottom of your bed, bro. Yeah. Like it ain't like this. It's not like forcefully. It's folded. There's probably some food on the table. Like he was having a night. Like it wasn't like forceful, nothing. You know what I mean?
I will tell you this though, man, and to be honest with you, man, like I'm up here saying what I do and what I won't do, but in that situation, man, I can't tell you what I might do, man. But I do know killing. I do know taking someone's life is a huge deal, man. But when you in that moment and you see that stuff, it come out, you looking at it, and man, you don't know, man. I can tell, I can tell you this though. I most definitely will be turned up. You know what I mean? I can't tell what happened, but I most definitely be turned up though.
I'd probably cry, man.
Yeah, tears would be tears. I'd be hurt too, man. I'd be hurt. I'd be hurt like a motherfucker.
Babe, like, I think like you just don't expect your wife to like, and I don't know if she was his wife or she was his wife.
Yeah.
But you just don't expect your wife to, do nothing like that. And also rest in peace to that chief. It was a chief, a woman chief. I don't know too much about her, but it was a woman chief whose husband killed her. Let me see if I can find that real quick. It was like a woman like recently. Like she came home or something, or he came home or something like that. And he killed his wife, man.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Yeah. Like she got killed by her husband. That was recently as well. You know what I mean? But so Tyler Jenkins, right? So let's talk Tyler Jenkins for I think this is it right here. Yeah, Bellevue woman fatally shot by husband while child. And these they want you to buy every single thing. But yeah, she got shot by her husband. He was 43, and he killed her. He killed her husband. She was man, I can't get into it too much. But rest in peace to her. She was a chief. It looked like he tried to take his own life after.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was a chief. So rest in peace to her. I can't get too much in the story because Every news outlet wants you to pay for a subscription. But back to this Tyler Jenkins story, and it's like, of course, you got the standard like thoughts and prayers for like all parties involved and stuff like that. But when you think about this, right? So this the other thing that kind of came to my head was when I went on Facebook and I started seeing like different people in different like Facebook groups talking about this. And I don't know if you did that as well, but it was people like, yo, I know the seller. He's a good seller. All this stuff. And I remember when one of my guys was gun decking, and I went, and I had to speak for that seller. And I was like, oh man, he's a good technician. And man, I got ate up. You know what I'm saying? My pretty much the deputy director was like, how is he a good technician when he was gun decking or whatever? And I'm thinking like, he is a good technician. Like, he's a pretty good electrician. Like, if you put him in front of something, he could fix it. You know what I mean? It's like, how is he, so it's like, I find it, I guess I'm questioning the thought process of us when we get like good like workers that does some shit that's like obviously like wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, do we overdo like sympathy? Not as much sympathy, right? But do we overdo like trying to look out, for the seller? You know what I'm saying? Like, killing somebody is, I mean, again, I'm all confused because that's a real tough spot, because
Man,
that was
that's
probably
tough.
rage. That's your wife. That was probably rage.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing like a lot of, and that was it hit me harder when I saw it was another seller
Yeah.
that that got killed or whatever. And if he, like you said, if he didn't even know she was married, that's crazy. If he
Yeah.
did that, and I'm sure somebody knows, these people. But like
Yeah.
I said, people saying they knew Tyler and he's a good, like Tyler Jenkins, and he's like, yo, he's a good seller. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, my thought on like somebody gun decking, right? I go in there and say, yeah, he's a good sailor, blah blah. Made a mistake. We talking about we did is somebody done died, bro. We
Right.
didn't kill somebody. So I think all that type of talk is kind of like out the window about being a good sailor. I don't think that even gonna be a conversation about him being a good sailor or not. This is about somebody who then took someone's life. Now, how it happened and all that stuff, that's gonna play out in the court system and all that stuff. But I think
Right.
the fact of what he did while he was in the Navy might not matter as much now, because you done took someone's life, and it's probably not going to be in the hands of the Navy anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't think you're going to get in front of a judge and say, yeah, he was a good technician.
Yeah. That's that's a real good point.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's a real good point.
But I tell you this though, man, that anybody in the comments and saying this and saying that, man, I like to know, from anybody else out there, man, about like what would you guys do, man? This is a tough
Yeah.
situation. I can't even go in on Tyler about this, man. You know what I mean? You want to be like, man, he made a mistake. Oh, he should have did this. He should have did it. Man, think about that for a minute. Man, it's your wife or your spouse or whatever the
Yeah.
case may be. You catching in the act. And this ain't the first time I done heard something like this. Trust me, we done heard it a lot, through the years being in the military and probably outside the military and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
But the fact that this is happening, and then we always can point the finger all the time and like, oh, I do this, I do that. But man, you never know. You never know.
They call it with Jody, right? They call it.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
Jody,
what they
man.
used to say a lot, like Jody.
Yeah.
Like soon
But
as
Jody
you
used to get
leave.
you on deployments though, man. You know what I'm saying? While you out there on deployment, old Jody,
I
coming
wonder
there
where
taking.
was he at? I wonder where was he like at though? Like when this happened, you know what I mean? Like, was he on duty? Like, it's just.
There's so much stuff out there, so many variables, right, man? We don't know what, like, because it had to be something that they didn't. This is your. That's another thing, man. Like, I'm getting all like crazy about this. This is at your crib.
Yeah,
this is at your spot.
This is where we binge watch.
We lay. This is where we came
you know
together. We bought this bed. You know what I mean? Like we and we don't even know. I hope kids ain't involved, but I don't know. You know what I mean? All the details about that, but. This is where we've said I do, and this is where we lay our head. This is where we bought this house, And now this guy's up in here for a fling or for whatever you guys got going on.
You ever been in that position where it's like a married woman is like coming on to you? Are you happen to talk to a married woman and like you either didn't know she was married yet or whatever?
No, I don't. I don't remember nothing like that happened to me talking to a married woman.
You never ever talked to a married woman? Damn, dude.
No, I just don't.
Damn,
I
you live the
look. I
pure
tell you
life,
this.
man.
I tell you. I tell you what. I tell you this. This is what I would say. I necessarily don't know. You know what I mean? Because the relationship didn't go that far, or it didn't nothing that happened, or whatever the case would be. And then I just didn't know. You know what I mean? Not like if I see she's married, let me go after her. No, that's not me. I don't do shit like that.
So I'm in a lady and I'm in a lady at a party. He was a Navy spouse. He was a Navy spouse.
Mm-hmm.
I started talking to her. No. Well, I didn't know she was a Navy spouse. I just met a lady at a party. Let me kind of backtrack, right? But I started talking to her, and I found out she was a Navy spouse.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and I'm talking to her on the phone, and I'm like, well, she tell me, she's like, yo, I'm married. I'm like, well, when, like this is weird. Like I didn't immediately hang up with her, right? I'm thinking like they might be like, I'm like, well, what's going on? Like y'all like split up, y'all, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? She's like, nah, we live together. We got the kids, we this, that. I'm like, well, like when can I call you? You know what I mean? She's like, oh, you could call me anytime. You know what I'm saying? I'm still young and like still doing like living life or whatever, like learning. So we go out one day, right? I go out with her, right? And it's like all in short time, like all in like a week span of time. We go out and I'm sitting with her and I'm like, yo, so like that's like your husband know that you like out like this? And she said he should know, And then I was like, all right, I gotta go to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Never saw her again, man. I dipped out, never saw her again. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, you telling me your husband shouldn't, and I found out her husband was like a chief or whatever. But I'm like, you telling me your husband should know? Like, that's a red flag.
Dude, that's bad business right
that's
there,
a red
bro.
flag. Because I mean, like now you're saying he should, so he don't know what you're doing. You saying he should know. That's not good. Because let's say he does know. Let's say he following you around. He catch me with you. I'm not ready. Like I said, the husband supposed to win that fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not ready for that type of energy. I'm not ready for that kind of energy. So I left her right then and so I knew about that, but I left her right then and there. And I felt like I went too far from after finding out she was married to even like hanging out with her the one time. Like I feel like, yo, that's
because you know what, man, I'm just thinking about this for a second, man. Like, right, your conversation you just had, but think about the energy though. Think about the energy, like you said already. This guy's supposed to win this fight, blah blah.
Sure.
But you know why though? Because you don't have the same energy.
No,
your energy, sure. You the guy that got caught with the married lady, so your energy is different from this dude. Energy is rage. Straight rage, ready to tear somebody's head off. And my energy is like, man, like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So a split second, this dude could have been and done something to you because you don't have the same energy.
Yeah. I'm not even prepared. Like I'm literally like, you're like the epitome of like relaxed when you with somebody else. Like you just like, yo, we chilling. But I don't even understand how somebody, me in a way I think now with my brain, I don't even understand how you could be with somebody's wife and not be like paranoid, like not be worried about the person finding out. I don't care how much she reassured me that we good to go. I'm worried that this person gonna find out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when I think about the victim, of that, the Tyler Jenkins thing. When I think about the victim and him also being a sailor, young 28, man. It's like, man, I hope, hopefully you didn't know and like you didn't make that like choice to go to another man's house and have sex with his wife, you never know when somebody gonna come home. You never know. Like,
Yeah.
me and my wife was just watching Old School. I don't know when the last time you watched Old School, but the dude, he left. He went to like a convention or something. He left the convention early, got home. His wife was having a gangbang. You know what I'm saying? Like with a bunch of people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what she was doing. So but you never know.
Yeah, man.
So
But look, I know you said like young man, man. That's 28 though, man.
Yeah,
Like
28. Oh no,
you know
yeah.
now, man. 18, whatever, 19, 20 years old, you kind of still, like you said, filling yourself out, blah, blah, blah. But 28, man, it's something else. We gonna catch you guys up on this story too, man. The more information we find out, we gonna revisit this a little bit, man, because I feel like we just don't know enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious. I'm curious too, man.
And
I'm
I
curious.
think everybody knows somebody who been in, like, everybody is, there's like this real 6 degrees of separation, like everybody is like 6 degrees separated by somebody who got cheated on by their spouse in the Navy. You know what I'm saying? Like, the military period, like that's like the real 6 degrees of separate. I'm 1 degree of separation from that. Like I am directly connected to people that have been cheated on by, their spouses or whatever like that. And I'm sure you are too. I'm sure you know stories of that. And the worst is when it's like on my first ship, it was like 2 dudes in the same division where the dude was having sex with the dude wife when he knew that the dude was on duty. And these dudes was friends, like best friends on the ship, always together. It's like, and then that, like these like young days, like the command never really found out, but the dude went home. He found a dude with his wife. He pistol whipped the dude. He pistol whipped the dude that was with his wife and never got back to the command. But the dude wife was like, it wasn't just that dude. She was like hot. You know what I mean? She was all around or whatever like that. So yeah, so that stuff get crazy. It is Women's History Month, huh?
Boy, that was a segue right there to come in, huh? Good gracious.
It is Women's History Month.
Dang, Dumbo. Damn, Dumbo. I want to make sure Dumbo,
Shout out to all the faithful, strong, hardworking, independent,
yeah, man,
faithful, considerate, loving, faithful women out there. For real, shout out to all of y'all. We really do love y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Most definitely.
And we want to highlight another hero today. We want to highlight another woman warrior. So I'm going to talk about Monica Lynn Brown, Sergeant, U.S. Army. Monica Lynn Brown was born on May 24th, 1988 in Lake Jackson, Texas. She joined the United States Army at the age of 17. She became a combat medic and has risen to the rank of sergeant. On April 25th, 2007, Brown was serving as a combat medic with the 4th Squadron, 73rd Cavalry Regiment, 4th Brigade Combat Team, 82nd Airborne Division in Afghanistan. Brown was on a combat patrol when one of the vehicles in her convoy was struck with a pressure plate IED, engulfing the vehicle in an intense fireball. The convoy was ambushed and began taking fire. Brown moved on foot to evacuate the casualties. It says evaluate. So she moved on foot to evaluate the casualties. After assessing the injuries, she moved them to a safer position. The enemy fighters began engaging the patrol with mortar rounds. Brown then used her own body to shield the casualties from large chunks of shrapnel. The platoon sergeant used the A&A Ranger to move the wounded and Brown to a safer position. Not soon after did a large mortar explosion send shrapnel flying in the location Brown had been treating the casualties. Once moved, it wasn't long until their new position came under small arms fire. However, Brown did not stop treating the wounded and protected them using her own body as a shield. She made sure to help her fellow soldiers stabilize and prepare for a medevac. The patrol leader found it incredible she was still alive and treating the casualties amidst the extremely dangerous conditions she was operating under. Despite her heroic actions, Brown didn't want to leave, but she was pulled from the field only days later because her presence had attracted attention and there were many issues regarding women in combat roles. For her
Uh-huh.
action, Brown was awarded the Silver Star, the United States military's third highest medal for valor in combat. Brown became the first woman during the war in Afghanistan and only second woman since World War II to receive the Silver Star. She was presented with the Silver Star by Vice President Dick Cheney in a ceremony on March 21st, 2008. So Monica Lynn Brown, Sergeant, U.S. Army, Silver Star.
You know what? Besides Monica, heroic act and the things she done, you know what just stood out to me, man?
What's up?
That we still had a problem in 2000 in that time frame with women in combat.
Mm-hmm.
that stood out to me. But not taking away from what Monica did, helping people that needed help on the battlefield, doing her job and putting herself in harm's way. But the fact that she gets pulled, because it was an issue with women in combat is crazy to me right now, especially in the 2000s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, congrats on that. She did what only comparatively because we read about it all the time. That's the only reason why I'm making a comparison. But she did what the guys do. She did the same thing.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
thing the
Same
dudes
thing.
do. You know what I mean? It's nothing
Yep.
different. She acted the same way. She didn't want to leave. Like that shit is like, man, like that's bravery, bro. Like where you're not on like the first train smoking after like something devastating like that. And then a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times, like the report said, they trying to get you up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, let's. And she's like, no, I'm not going. You know what I mean? So that's we watching things like that on like Band of Brothers right now, World
Yeah.
War II type stuff. You know what I mean? So to see, people don't like to know that our people, built that much into their character during war in Afghanistan in '08, man, is actually inspiring. You know what I mean? Like it let me know that we still have people like that around that are still step up. When they're going get. We seeing it with like some of the people in Ukraine too. Like women
Yeah.
and men. I saw like a couple get married, and then like their honeymoon was to go defend their country, the
Yeah.
husband and the wife. So
Yeah.
that's
How
all.
about all the athletes over there, man? You know what I mean? All the athletes and stuff over there, now serving their country. That's crazy too, man. How do y'all like, turning what they do for a living down to go serve, man?
Yeah,
It's
because they could be like, yo, I need to go to somewhere else and work on my running. I need to go, do this, but they staying and they fighting for their country. So, and that's however
big
you look
shots.
at the war, however whatever you think. We just talk about the people, right now, and like just people being strong, and she was strong, and that's why she got that Silver Star, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Most
saying?
definitely.
All right, so this is funny, man, because this is a bad segue here. Well, first of all, let me give a shout out to Saul. I'm gonna give a shout out to Saul. If anybody, wherever command he at, ICC, Hurtado, um, he just like we just finally finished. My stepmom passed away, and I went and I filmed her service, her homegoing service. He edited. He did the edit for me. I
Yeah.
couldn't do it. It was love. It was rough. So he did it. It was rough for him too. You know what I mean? It's never
Yeah.
good like trying to chop up funeral footage, especially when you're trying to decide what's not going to go in it. So I want to give him. If anybody been listening to the pod from the beginning, they know who Saul is. He was with us in the beginning. Like started out. We just all happened to kind of separate, so we had to go virtual. And like he was there when we were shooting, when we were together. And if we go back to together, Saul getting another invite to come back with us
Oh yeah.
again. You know what I'm
Most
saying? So that's
definitely.
like he's still, in my opinion, a member of the team. So,
Yeah.
shout out to him. He just finished the edit for me for my stepmom's homegoing. So I'm glad we finally got that done. All right, so let's talk this.
Nice.
Let's talk this Hampton tender swindler. Like I don't know nothing about this really, but I want to talk about it, man. What do you know about it though?
I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know that much about it either, man. But I did a little. I did a little digging.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little surprised though, man.
Uh-huh.
You know, first off, I like to know the ages too of the people who got swindled.
What'd she do? What
You
was
know
the
what I mean?
swindle?
So the swindle was they was acting like he had a team.
Oh, it's a
This
dude,
guy
right?
that
This a
got
dude, right?
yes, a
Yeah.
dude that got caught, but he had a team though. He had
Yeah.
a team, and it was acting. It was acting as women on dating sites, and also the biggest thing was though of them being Navy federal agents.
Yeah. All right, let me read this, man. I don't know how you.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I'm trying to figure out. I can't put it together. So, a Hampton
Yeah.
man has pleaded guilty to stealing money. And well, look, hey, before that, I do want to talk about it's so many stories of people scheming right now, military stuff.
Yes.
Whether that be like big time, like contracts, or like people got like things to do with like intelligence and stuff like that. It's so many stories that
Yeah.
we have them slated, and then somehow we just don't cover them. Sometimes it's so much shit, But this one
Yeah.
though, it was interesting. A Hampton man has pleaded guilty to stealing money in a scheme using Tinder and other means to get money from Navy sailors, mainly involving Navy credit union accounts. Traquan M. Smith of Hampton pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit bank fraud and aggravated identity theft on March 8th in federal court. All right, I'm gonna stop there for 1 second. That's crazy because they've been doing shit like that in Hampton for a long time. They've been doing stuff like that for a while. My boy, somebody I knew a while ago went to a club, and like him and his dude, they left the club with like two, women. And the women like, yeah, let's go to this hotel. They had a hotel. I'm like, that's red flag, man. I'm not going back to no ladies' hotel. That's wild. Like who am I? Like who do I think I am for a lady to take me back to her hotel? You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you're a woman, you better not be going back to no dude's hotel that you don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they call, like the ladies call, the dudes, and they goes to the hotel, just thirsty. And boom, like I think like soon as they get in a room or something, boom, hit with the gun, like hit with the butt of a gun or whatever, robbed.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I think they found the people a couple days after, but it's like, and then they found out like they had done that to like multiple people. And these people were in the military. Like these was like people in the military, sailors that was robbing people, but they was robbing
the sailors was doing the robbing
and getting robbed, but it was sailors. It was sailors. Like, you didn't got like gun butted by like an E5 or whatever from the ship across the pier or something like that. It was a crazy story, man. So this kind of stuff been happening in Hampton, in that area for a while. So it says, again, Traquan Smith, his sentencing is August 8th, 2022. He faces up to 32 years in prison, although actual sentences are typically lower than the maximum. He also must pay restitution to the fraud victims. He don't got that money. According to a statement of facts filed March 8th in federal court, Smith recruited at least 5 co-conspirators to help him defraud people through various means between April 2020 and October 2021. According to documents, Smith and his co-conspirators posed as Navy credit union employees and contacting account holders to get information to gain access to their accounts. So it's like Navy feds calling you? Nah. Targeted sailors in the Navy by posing as women interested in romantic relationships on apps such as Tinder. So I don't even understand how that worked. But I know other people do. But I'm just saying I don't understand how it works because where does money exchange at? You know what I'm saying? Use accounts they previously accessed by phishing to transfer funds to other targeted sellers. Ask sellers to withdraw to illegally transfer funds, often through a ploy that they were helping a relative in the Navy who was trying to send them money. Met sellers by internet and met in person in various parts of East Virginia to obtain the fraudulent proceeds. In April 2021, Smith and his co-conspirators gained access to a victim's account by posing as bank employee, alerting them about a fraud purchase. Oh, man. They then transferred $18,750 to another person's bank account. Smith and the others then convinced the second victim to withdraw $9,500 under false pretenses and hand it over in cash at Rosie's Gaming Emporium. Like, see, that don't even sound like a place that I want to go to. Any Emporium, like you'll never see me at an Emporium, yo. The victim
Nope.
withdrew an additional 3,000 at the Swami food store. Yep, you won't see me there.
Swami, not gonna be there.
And then it says 11 money orders of for 500 each at West Union inside a Food Lion. Who gonna like? Nah, again, like I never shopped at Food Lion when I lived in Virginia. Like not Food
Yeah.
Lion. That's like Albertsons and Cali. Like what is it? Is it Albertsons and Cali?
Yeah.
Like now you go
Yeah.
to Vons, right? Like was it like
Well,
which
yeah.
one you go to? Vons or Albert? Like
No, neither.
so you
Either.
more bougie. Yeah, you where you go?
No, I don't go. No, I'm not bougie. I go to either the commissary or I go to freaking Walmart
okay.
somewhere. Yeah,
I know it's like a bougie, a really bougie spot.
what we call Audi or something.
No, Audi,
that's one.
Audi is like not bougie at all. But they try to. It's the other. I forgot the name of it. But damn, that's a lot of money. You got 13,000, 13,000, 6,000, 1,000, 16,000, 10, 24 grand, 20,000, and it's over 20 some victims here. 91 grand from one of the victims,
bro. That the only thing this whole thing is telling me, man. That's why I asked the ages of these people, man, because it is too much fraud and shit that's going on in the world right now for you to be that naive.
You talk about the
not
victims?
to know. Yeah.
To
me, it don't really sound like victims. Seem like they're together a little bit, right? Too.
I tell you what, that 91 grand came from an older victim, and it was tender.
Yeah,
I already know. It's like
got him, Coach.
I don't know, but
got old,
it was tender.
Old sugar daddy, man. Oh, sugar
something
daddy.
happened. That was one of the girls. That was a big fish.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was a big fish. It say the foregoing victims of the fraud scheme are almost all junior members of the United States Navy and of limited financial means. People robbing people, taking stuff from people that don't even like have it, yo. They suffer hardship from the defendant and co-conspirators' theme. Oh, here's the last little part. According to authorities, Smith also tricked one of his co-conspirators into telling him sensitive information about the investigation into the scheme after he realized she'd been in contact with the authorities. He confronted her, which ended in a violent altercation in a car that resulted in Smith slamming her head into the passenger window, pulling out part of her extensions and choking her.
Damn, son.
Damn. And that normally happens. That normally happens with these, fraud things and like nonviolent, like, offenses. They get violent. Like that normally happens.
Yeah,
they get violent.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Especially when you about to get your ass caught. It's all fun and dandy when you got that cheese coming in, man.
Under pressure, you start getting under pressure.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Did you ever see that doc about? It's like a lady and she hired. She get with like her ex to hire like somebody to kill her husband. It's like a YouTube video or whatever. She get with her ex to hire somebody to kill her husband, and they like the cops. They create this elaborate, I forgot some of it, but they create like this elaborate thing where they act like the husband is dead, actually. So she's like, yo, I'm gonna just come home, and boom. So when she come home, the cops outside her house and they like, yo, your husband's dead. She's like crying and all this stuff, thinking dude really dead. So they like, yo, we need you to come, come to we need to talk to you. We just want to talk to you. You're the wife. We want to talk to you. Come to the station. And she go to the station. She sit in the, the real room or interrogation room or whatever she said. And then the husband walks in. Like the dude walks in. She's like, yo, you here? Like you alive? Like,
oh, I'm so glad you're alive.
You're alive. And he's like, yo, babe, like you tried to get me killed. Like you tried to end my life. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, man. But we got some more scammers, huh?
Yeah, man. That was just the first scammer right there, man. Yeah. This second scammer even went harder than that, man.
Happy Women's History Month.
Let's
make sure we clear on that. Like it's Women's History Month.
Yeah,
we love and respect our honest, faithful women, and I hate that we finding these stories coming up this month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because we definitely love y'all. We actually had a guest. We're supposed to have a woman guest on today, but we couldn't. We couldn't do it. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna make up for it. But all right, yeah, let's get into this. I just don't, Don't beat us up for this, ladies. Don't beat us up for
Yeah,
this,
man.
for this, ladies. But it's a
Yeah,
couple.
so man, we had a Rhode Island woman was charged in a federal court Monday with fraudulent claiming to be a U.S. Marine Corps veteran with lung cancer in a scheme to collect hundreds of thousands of dollars in veteran benefits and charity contributions. Now, first off, I'm gonna throw a little bit on that. That right there, I don't know how that can even happen. Right, with all the stuff you go into medical, doing all this stuff, man. How do you don't know if this person is in the military or not? I don't know, but that's one thing, right? She was charged with using forged and counterfeited military discharge certificates, wire fraud, fraudulently holding herself out of medical recipient to be a medal recipient with intent to obtain money, property, or other tangible benefits, and aggravated identity theft. Right.
Yeah.
She appeared in U.S. District Court in Providence, was released on 50,000 bond, blah blah blah. But let me get down here, man. Like, she later displayed on a Marine uniform with a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star. Right.
Damn.
She requested financial assistance and falsely claimed that she was being treated for lung cancer for exposure to burned pits in war zones and inhaling particulate matter from a bomb explosion.
Damn,
right?
yo, she acting like she acting like she like at the
she went through it,
what
bro.
is it? Skytech? What's the where the what's the joint where they Terminator?
I know what you're talking about, man.
Terminator. She acting like she in that war, man.
Bro, and then I'm gonna tell you how she really got him in a minute, though, man. Like, she really got him, right? So she was posing as combat veteran. She collected, dude, $207,000 from Wounded Warrior program, bro.
Hey, Aaron, holla at me, Aaron.
Wounded Warrior program, holla at your people,
holla at me,
man.
Aaron. How's that possible, man?
Send us the paperwork, man. What we need to do, man. Like, it's crazy, over there, right?
Yo, he probably like, damn, why you say my
name,
he? Man? Yeah, my boy over there.
Goodness, man.
But not there, not wherever she at. But he worked for Wounded Warrior. I know he's doing the right. He looking at his numbers. He know what he doing. But I guess this could happen to anybody. But shit.
Yeah, man. 207,000. I don't know, but yeah. Then he got 18.5 from Coda Support.
So she getting there.
Got another 4.7. She got another 4.7. Got another 16 grand.
Furnace repair.
You know what I mean? From charities.
Her mortgage paid. The furnace repaired. A gym membership.
Bro, she was killing them, bro. She was killing them. But what I wanted to clear, she used to work though. She was hold on, let me find out what she used to do.
Damn, yo. Veterans through art, 16 grand.
She was investigated, was launched after the Providence nonprofit Hunter 7 contacted the Providence VA because they were suspicious of her appeal to them. The organization helped veterans with cancer.
Yeah.
So, but I want to say she worked at the VA though. I must have missed that part, but I think she worked for the VA. So I'm assuming that's how she got the access to it.
Yeah. Oh shit. It says Executive Director Chelsea Simone said Monday they had issued a $3,000 check to Kavanaugh in January, but canceled it once they realized she was lying about service. In part because another female Marine told them that she would have known about Kavanaugh if they served at the same time. And Kavanaugh truly did earn a Purple Heart and Bronze Star for valor. Like, yo, I would have knew. Like, nah. Like,
hell yeah.
Nah, we would have knew who she was. Like, she was not out there. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, here you go. She worked at the Veteran Affairs of Medical Center in Providence. So that was she worked at. So she had access to that shit. So that's how she got, you
figured out how to get to it and like learn some stuff.
Got them people was coming there getting that money, getting help that they really, really needed, and she took advantage of it.
And she hurt people in the process because I see like a nurse says I was in pain for her. I listened to her. Everything a nurse should do. She not only abused that, she took my compassion and lied. Meanwhile, we could have put our services elsewhere. That's what bothers me. It's crazy because, I didn't talk to some nurses and them nurses ain't seem like they was in pain for me at all. You know what I mean? Like, and I got real problems with my knee and other stuff. Like y'all gonna let this lady Kavanaugh get y'all for $500,000, and meanwhile, I'm over here really hurting. All I need is an MRI. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
I guess I need a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star to get that. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Seemed like those nurses was really hurt by that, man.
Yeah,
like,
well,
they probably was thinking, why I couldn't get that $207,000, man. That's probably how they was thinking. I tell you, I hope she invested that shit when she had it, though, man. We got some.
Why y'all not focus on people with real problems, man? How y'all gonna get scared? How the nurses that's normally not helping people? Get me in trouble. I gotta go see Doc next week, man. Doc gonna be like, man, you can't. How them nurses? But these like civilian doctors, right? These were like civilian doctors.
Yeah.
Like,
they civilian.
Be helping. Like, matter of fact,
I'm just trying to find out how bad can you be at your job to not catch that though, man? Like ahead of time.
Shout out to
I mean, I know she probably worked there, so she probably got some, people like, okay, we know her. So when she doing this stuff, you know what I mean? They probably like, okay, we know her. She's not doing this. Maybe that got something to do with it. I don't know.
Shout out to the essential workers. Shout out to Jackie. I'm gonna be at the wedding tomorrow. So I love nurses. I love everybody that do their job. But I hate going somewhere and telling people that I need an MRI for years and I don't get it. And then when I do get it, I got a surgeon telling me I need surgery tomorrow. You know what I mean? So they the kind of things that I don't like. You know what I mean? So like, and meanwhile, y'all letting this lady get away with all types of stuff. You know what I mean? And y'all letting
$250,000.
Y'all letting see, like, y'all don't, how do you, like, you just, I don't know. Somebody with more information gotta come talk to me, because it's like you could just go somewhere and say you have cancer, and like as long as you have a test, it never has to be proven. Dude, like I remember back in the dirty days, like back in the young dirty days, if you tell a lady you don't have a STD or something like that, she like, yo, where that paperwork at? like where the proof at? You know what I mean? I've had when I was young and dating, I had one instance. I don't know if you ever, had an instance, but I had an instance where the girl was like, I don't do nothing until we get tested. She's like, I'll get tested and I'll show you the paperwork, and you get tested and you show me the paperwork. I'm like, all right, like,
man, that must be that's some
paperwork done. Like, okay, like that ain't much. Like, I don't feel demeaned at all.
That must like, man, I grew up in the 80s and 90s, man. We ain't nothing like that shit happen, man. We ain't need no paperwork,
y'all just
man.
Took antibiotics and just like ain't even think about it, huh? Like, yo, just take these pills.
Think about nothing. Let's go.
That's crazy, man. All right. This just popped in my head, man. It wasn't much about anything, but it was about, I was thinking about, because I'm gonna be involved in the Chiefs season this year, heavily involved, right? I got, selected to lead the season. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be heavily involved in the season. But I was thinking about last season, right? And we was running. I think I might have talked about it on here, but we was doing the run, and it was like the dude in the back. You know what I mean? And like, it's looking like not going to pass the run, right? Now I'm not really thinking about him, but I'm thinking about like every other time this ever happened in life. Like this happened in boot camp. This happened like everywhere. But it's like you gotta motivate. Somebody like, yo, go motivate, that person. Even when I went through the season as a select, I had finished the run first, right? It might not look like it right now, but when I went through as a select, I finished the run first. As soon as I got to the end, the Chiefs was like, yo, good job. Now go in the back and run with that last person. So I'm all, motivate you. I get back there like, hey, yo, you got this, you got this. And it's like, whenever you go motivate that person, they don't want that shit, man.
Get out my face. Like, get out my face.
They like, yo, I'm good. I'm telling you, like, trust me, I'm good.
Like, no, you not good, bro.
Like, yo, you coming in there like a 16-30 if you keep this pace, bro. Like, I'm good. Like, leave me alone. Like, yo, that shit. You ever been in that scenario? I know you've been in CFL. You've been in charge of CFL. So
yeah. All the time, man. All the time, man. I'm that guy. I always go back there. Like I used to always go to the back of that line and run with people and do all that stuff, man. But after a while, man, like if it was a PFA or something, PRT to be probably different. But just for running purposes, just running, I just talk and motivate. Let's keep moving type deal, man. Because you don't want because people be like, dude, people be ready to fight you almost.
On you soon.
When you
like, go ahead.
when you start like talk, dude. Hey, look. I'm gonna tell you guys, lucky for me, I have this thing where when it's almost time for PFAs and stuff, I start like kind of like getting myself in more shape and stuff, getting ready for it. I prepare for it, right? Right, like most people do, right? But some people don't do that.
Yeah, it's like, yo,
right? Some people just don't do that. They really do PRT twice a year type deal, right? Yeah. So my thing is, man, like, have you ever seen where they just ain't got nothing left?
Yeah, that's how
Hey, look, I had one time, man. This guy was crossing the line, man, and he knew he was failing, man, and he was like cursing everybody out while he he had about 100 more yards to go. He was like, I ain't gonna never make chief now. Dude, he cursing out chain of commands and everything because he got through. I'm like, man, like he was a first class man. I'm like, man, you failed that though, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you failed that, but you running through here like, dude, he was cursing people out, man. Like cursing them out. Because he knew he was already at 16 something, dude. He went past.
That's a critical time.
So he come down there cursing people.
I think that's
out,
a critical time. That's almost like equivalent to like walking in the house and like hearing your wife like cheeks get clapped. Like when you like when you coming in at like a 16 pace and somebody try to motivate you, that's a critical time, man.
Yeah,
like,
man. Yeah,
hey,
man.
when we went through, I don't know if you remember this, man, but we went through the season and we got the big pep talk about like how selects had died or like it was crazy. So if somebody can't do it, stop them, like tell them they can't do it.
Yeah.
So, we running, this was our season. Like we were together. So we running with the selects, man. And I'm running with one. And like, he like, yo, my knee, man, and my knee messed up too. You know what I mean? So he's like, my knee. He's like, no, like for real. Like, I can't do it. My knee. And he was like, damn, they're like crying, and his legs look like, you ever saw like Pinocchio, man? Like his legs just look like boards. Like I'm like, yo, he is like not gonna make it out of this, right? So I'm like, I make that crucial decision. Right? I make the crucial decision. I'm like, yo, man, like it's like, and it's like this was my first season as a chief. So I'm like, yo, I ain't trying to get in no trouble or nothing. I'm like, yo, dude, like, stop. We gotta pull you off. Stop. We worried about your health and safety, dude. Moment I'm pulling him off, somebody else come up. Get the fuck back on that track, yo. He finished the run. Like it's like he knew he could get that off on me or something, man. I ain't like that. Like I ain't like that, man. Like he finished the run.
I think I remember that, man.
I'm sure you do, man. It was crazy, bro. Like he got me, man. But yeah, so that was that. That was that. I got no way to like segue this conversation, right? I have no way to segue it. But I'm looking at this Alec Baldwin stuff, right? That's coming through, right? And we don't talk about that kind of stuff because we got a native pride, right? And this might be a little bit more serious than some of the other stuff we've been talking about. But with the Alec Baldwin situation, man, I couldn't help but like think about, when they starting to say like, well, the people that make the they starting to say it should have been a fake gun or it should have been blanks, and then the people that make it pose a check it, and then Alec Baldwin supposed to do all that. I started to think like when shit go wrong on a ship, when something go wrong on a ship and you start seeing like all the fingers point, right? And it's not like really a bad thing. It's like, damn, it's like 100 different ways that this shit went wrong. Like 100 different people. Like this was the one day that they didn't check this. This was the one day that they didn't do that. And I mean, and it always happened. Like whenever something go wrong, like under my watch or something, like, damn, this was the one day that I didn't make that call. You know what I'm saying? This is the one day. And that ain't necessarily like, I ain't necessarily talk about like gun decking or nothing, but I'm just talking about like when it's like one of those like we do this every day kind of things. It's like damn, like I didn't call, you know, like for me, like right now I do paperwork. So mine would just be like, damn, I didn't call. Like we had, like I said, when we had that suicide, it's like, yo, I would normally call Master Chief about anything. You know what I mean? But we had that suicide and I didn't call Master Chief. It's like, yeah, it's a reservist. You know, he wasn't really part of the command. Man, Master Chief called me the next day, like, yo, did we have a suicide? Like, dude, like, you ain't tell me about it? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh shit. Like, if anything, I should have, like, I would tell Master Chief that they found like a ball on base that rolled on base from in the road and they ain't know what to do with it. I'm like, hey, Master Chief, they saying they found a ball, but everything good to go. We got like, but this suicide, like I did not, you know, so I'm like, damn, like when you look at that case with Alec, but you know what case I'm talking about with like Alec Baldwin, right? He killed it. Like, but when you look at that, it's like, just like, I just couldn't help but like think about like a Navy, like a scenario on a ship. Like when something go wrong, like we had a switchboard fire on like one of my first ships. And it's like, well, we had a switchboard fire because such and such was troubleshooting this day and didn't do this. And then this happened. And then this happened. Then when we put out the fire, when we attacked the fire, we didn't follow, you know, it's like, damn, it's all of these different like small ingredients that like make this big mishap or whatever. And I don't know if that was a statement, a question, but it just was a thought. So I don't know if you got a thought about that or not, but it was just a thought of mine. Like the Alec Baldwin thing reminded me of something that would happen on the ship.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, I mean, because you know, it's you're right. Scenarios that happen, you just don't think they're gonna happen, man. Like it's like 1 in a million chances that this is gonna happen. But with all that being said, I'm that guy that always think if something gonna go wrong, it's gonna go wrong with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm that guy. I'm always like kind of like thinking like that, man. Like even when we stand, you right on duty or whatever, and I'd be like, man, that shit probably would have never happened to anybody else.
Yeah, it's like, you
know, it happened to me type deal.
Yeah. And it's good if it guides you, like if it make you make sure, like, oh shit, I need to make sure.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Most definitely.
You know,
most definitely, man.
And then I finally remembered that training. Remember, I was talking to you about that training, and I kept saying I think it's called Chart the Course. I think it's called Full Speed Ahead training. Right? You don't remember that? You don't remember Full Speed Ahead training?
I remember the Full Speed Ahead training. I mean, I don't remember like the topics and all that stuff, but I remember.
You don't remember the video?
That. No, probably if I see it, I'm sure.
Well, it's coming. I mean, I think it's coming back, like Full Speed Ahead, like 3.0.
I did see something about that too, though, man.
Yeah, Full Speed Ahead 3.0, man.
Yeah.
So get ready for it, man. It was probably one of the like one of the better directed like military, you know, productions. I don't know if you remember the like old Sapper videos and all that, like stuff.
Yeah.
Where the dude just like popping his head up like in like random offices. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the Full Speed Ahead was decent. The acting still looked really bad and like horrible. But like the scenarios, like I said, like where it's like they got this big, like I said, like it's like the XO, like, yo, we got all this shit y'all gotta do because we gotta get underway in no time. And they like, yo, well, you know, the books ain't even improved yet. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't really do the maintenance. And then you got the chief and the Devo in there giving them like the big pep talk. And then the chief like pretty much, all right, like come get me when y'all done. You know what I'm saying? Like I got stuff to do. Yo, it is sad, right? But it's sad because like he could have been like sliding, or he could have really had like 6 meetings. You know what I'm saying? Like I know, like, you know, I know I'd be like mad as hell. Like damn, like y'all about to give my guys all this work. But now I gotta go to like all of these like meetings and shit like that. So I ain't gonna be there. So then the guys might not like, well, Chief ain't here, you know what I'm saying? And then like the first class just weighed that on like a scale, like, oh yeah, we might as well just gun deck. Like let's just get it done. Like let's just say we did it.
Get it done.
You know, so that,
I tell you what, man, that's funny. That's funny though, man. Like I don't know if we ever had this conversation before, man, but with the meetings though, man. Like I know all you the khakis out there can like, you know, test to this, man. Like how many goddamn meetings we can have, man?
Yeah.
Dude, we got like 2-3 meetings in the morning. You're going to have 2-3 meetings in the afternoon. And you expect me to be over somebody's shoulders watching. So you expect me to be like a deck plate leader, you know what I mean? Getting in the fight, which I do. Yeah. But I'm just saying that I think in certain situations, man, we have a lot of meetings, man. Some of these meetings need to be combined or some shit. I don't know, man. It's a lot of meetings, man. Got us all over the place, man.
All right, so we didn't intend to talk about this, but what is like, in your definition, like, what do you think a deck plate leader is? In your own definition, this ain't the Navy's definition for
Yeah, my
anybody that's
definition,
listening.
my definition of a deck play
Yeah.
leader is just that to me, man. Being on the deck plays with the sailors, training the sailors, teaching the sailors, not only in a Navy standpoint, but how to carry themselves, man. How to be like these kids are 18 years old, man. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Coming in the Navy or whatever. So I'm more like, I'm gonna say like a dad figure, or you're a boss or whatever the case may be, man. But I be in, man, I be carrying that deck plate leadership stuff, man, real hardcore, man. But I think it's more about me just being there, man.
Yeah.
Like you already got the respect of people because you are a senior person in the Navy. You already got that respect. But when you around them and you're interacting with people, man, like it's a whole different vibe for the sailors too, not just you. Because I want them to come to me for knowledge and help and all this type of stuff. That's kind of what I want them to do. And I just love having that effect on sailors when we interacting, and they learning something like that the light bulb effect go off and say, oh shit. You know what I mean? I like that stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I agree. I think it's like your presence is felt. I don't think you need to be with your sellers when they doing like menial tasks like
Oh
all
yeah,
the
yeah, most
time. Like if
definitely.
my guy's
Yeah,
changing
yeah.
ballast, I don't need to be with him, But it was a time where I went and my guys was changing ballast, and then I found out that we had a whole AC now or something like that. Like, just from me going when my guy's changing ballast, you know what I mean? So it's like, you don't ever want to you don't want to always avoid it, you know what I mean? But it's like, now I'm like, all right, let me go check these guys out changing the ballast. Hey guys, how y'all
Yeah.
doing? Yeah, we, changing this ballast. Yeah. By the way, the AC is broke. Oh shit. Okay. And we changing a light, ballast right now. Like, well, we got such and such on the AC. I'm like, okay. And I think that that's what it is, like trying to have like that fair balance of like what you, because it's like I'm not going to be there with the guys that's changing the ballast, but I'm definitely going down there with the guys that's troubleshooting
AC.
the AC. First
Yeah.
mad as hell, like how come y'all ain't tell me about this? Because I was it's holiday routine and I was racked out. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, the guys like just all happen to be in the shop watching a movie, and they called from CCS, so it's like, yeah, we just
Yeah.
dispersed. We just dispersed, Chief. We ain't call you. We ain't want to wake you up. No, this is a reason to wake me up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that whole
Yeah.
conversation, like, that whole joint. So what's the deal with this?
Yeah, man.
We need somebody smarter than us to tell us about this bachelor's degree program, right?
Yeah.
And I guess it's supposed to diversify the officer talent pool, right? And we did an episode of our podcast with Lieutenant JG Charles Davis, right? My old Devo. And he was talking about like things like this. Just
Yeah.
kind of getting things like this like done so we can like diversify that talent pool. However, I believe like with the NC1, we got some people we're gonna talk to soon. I believe they could tell us more about it. So I'm not gonna talk too much about it. It's just Navy Resurrects bachelor's degree program to diversify officer talent pool. And all this stuff is still, stemming from the Task Force One report. And it just says bringing back BDCP, bringing BDCP widens the talent pool in our officers' ranks by offering opportunities to students at universities without an existing ROTC program. And I just want to know more about it. The avenue to get officers out of these schools have been almost exclusively OCS, which requires a degree as a prerequisite. The BDCP allows the Navy to provide this opportunity to current students who qualify, reaching a portion of the undergraduate market that we aren't able to access. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So it sounds like if they got 2 years in a you know in a degree, they can go through this program, finish it up, and join. But I seen some at the bottom of this little article was like, with the exception of medical and physical disqualification, those who are disenrolled prior to commission will serve 24 months as an enlisted sailor.
oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you sign up, you really like sign
Yeah.
up.
But it looked like it's hitting other schools too. Like some of the probably like since like some of the schools that don't have ROTCs, right? So like
Yeah.
maybe some of the historical black colleges and stuff like that. Like you go through this program. Again, somebody knows more than us about this and could tell us more about it. But it seemed like a cool thing, right?
Yeah, most definitely, man. It seems like it's something where you like think about it though, man. You 2 years in college right now. You still in that like that nowhere's land though. You know what I'm saying? You really don't know what you want to do, and an opportunity right here is like. And then when I say you in nowhere, no man's land. What I'm really talking about, like, you may not have the financial means. You may not be, locked
Yeah.
in. You may not have a full plan, but now I know if I do these next 2 years, I know financially I'm good, and they're gonna pay me as a third class. I don't know if we didn't say that part, but as a third class, they're gonna pay you.
Yeah, they getting paid. Yeah.
As a third class in commission. How they do it in the OCS program as a third
It say
class petty
receive
officer.
pay and
Something.
allowances starting at the rate of an officer candidate, petty officer third class, although they still
Yeah.
responsible for tuition.
Tuition, yeah. So now you have a little bit of a plan though, what you're gonna do. And sometimes that's all it takes, man, having a plan on what you want to do and where you going.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can, help you out a little
So it's
bit.
like OCS without the degree. A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a good opportunity.
Did you hear anything about this girl in Philly? She's like 21 and she killed 2 highway patrol officers and a person. So I guess the highway patrol officers were like, she just got a reason why the story's back because she just got sentenced. But the patrol officers were like, they had stopped the car to like, they saw like somebody just walking down, walking on the road. And I think they were going to question, the person. So this girl was drunk driving, killed them all 3 of them. She just rammed them. And
Oh shit, ran over.
yeah, that was just crazy.
Damn.
That's just popped up in my head. I know it's something you wanted to talk about though.
Yeah, man, I got a question for you, man. I know I don't normally ask you questions and stuff.
Please
man,
ask me. I love them.
I got a question about, being in the Navy. You have a job, right? But is it different than having your job in the Navy or someone who has a craft? Right. And what I mean by that is if you play a sport or something, you are working at that sport, you're working at say if you was building boats, you're working on that to make sure you perfect it.
Yeah.
Right. Do you feel the same way about the Navy job? Do you think we are trying to perfect our job in the Navy, or are we trying to get the qualifications we need just to advance?
It depends on how you look at it. I think, and I think that's an extension of that conversation we had on the last, oh, by the way, Love and War, about that pride aspect, right? Man, I still look at it like honing the craft. Like I still look at being the sailor like honing the craft, right? So, for instance, if you look at my path right now as a chief or something like that, I did the semio, right? I wanted to do that for a reason. You know what I mean? DAPA, UPC programs. I wanted to get involved in those programs for a reason, for like educational, purposes, because it's some kind of craft that like I'm honing. Like one day I want to put my name in a hat to be a command senior chief or a command master chief, right? And I feel like these programs, right? And I need to get somewhere in there, Keiko as well, stuff like that. But I feel like these programs are ways to like hone, that craft. So when I was a junior sailor, let's compare it to like basketball. Like when I was a junior sailor, like I might have been doing like slam dunks. Like I might have been dunking. I might have been trying to be an EM, like fix things and, all of that. As I progress, I still need to have that dunk every now and then. Like I'm gonna go back to a ship. I still need to be like a decent EM, but I want to be more into like a leader position. So the way I look at honing that craft is doing things like learning those things that's going to help my tool bag as I move up, in responsibility, right? The reason why I say it's like in the eye of the beholder or whatever is because I've had these conversations with like sellers where it's like, yo, we not home such and such and such and such and such and such. And I'm like, yo, like a lot of job careers that like we look at, like we marvel at, people not home for periods of time. You know what I mean? Like actors,
Yeah.
right? We marvel at Hollywood actors. If big time actors are not home for like periods of time. I was just listening to like Danny McBride say like, yo, I moved all my family to like a certain area, like I think North Carolina or something like that. I move all my family there, and that's the only place I shoot movies at. You know what I mean? So like I'm always with my family. They ain't got to travel. I'm always with them. But then on the other hand, I've read Will Smith book where he like, yo, like I'm shooting films overseas. I'm shooting films in like Cali. I'm doing all this, and I'm not trying to, be home because I'm the number one actor in Hollywood. At this time, I'm the number one actor in Hollywood. I don't have that much time to be home. It's sacrifices, that I need to make. If you look at like a Kobe Bryant, or like a Tom Brady, like how often do you think like these guys like are in their house? You know what I mean? Like these guys are somewhere like working on their craft, But if I say that to like a sailor, they might say something like, well, this not basketball, this not acting, this not, Hollywood or whatever. My thought process is like, yo, this is your career. Like this the career you chose. You
Yes.
didn't become
Yes.
you're not a basketball player. You're not a Hollywood star. You're not a music artist. Music artists, they go on tour. Like they go on. Like, that's another one of them things we look at. Doctors, surgeons, like they gone. They not home. Lawyers, any big money job, you probably not home that much. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the
Yeah.
truth. You know what I mean? But like a lot of sellers, they don't, give credibility to like the seller thing. Like, and it's like, yo, if this is what I chose to do, I'm gonna treat this the way Kobe treats basketball. You know what I mean? I'm gonna treat this
Yeah,
the way
man.
LeBron
Yeah.
treat. I'm gonna treat this the way Leonardo DiCaprio approach acting or whatever. Like I'm gonna give this my 120%. This is my career. So when you talk about a craft versus people getting quals, yeah, it go both ways. You got some people that still might do that, but then you got a whole lot of people that, they're not like, they don't admire this. You know what I mean? They don't admire this career. You know what I mean? It's like a job, and it's
Yeah.
like, and we talked
Yeah.
about it. We talk about it a lot. So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of a hard topic because I think it all falls into that pride thing. Like, how you looking at this? Like, do you want to be the best engineer? You want to be the best electrician? You want seller of the year? You want like, and again, we got to that like that generation where people act like that you shouldn't want none of that. Like even leaders, like, yeah, you shouldn't be just doing it for, this, or you shouldn't be just, some people not doing it for just that. They doing it to be the best, but I think when we took out
Yeah.
the pursuit of like success, like out of the equation because we want everybody to be humble or whatever that is, to me is like a weird like thing. That's when you get people
Yeah.
like, all right, well, if I get this qual and I get this and I get this, and please, I want people to like disagree. Like I want to have like a conversation about this. I'm very interested in this.
Yeah.
But it's like, if I do this and I do this and I do this, then I'm good. I'm gonna make rank. But it's not like, yo, if I exceed this or I do the best that I could do here, if I'm precise here, then I could do, whatever. It's like winning a championship, but you was on the bench. You know what I mean? Like versus like winning a championship and you contributed to game. You know what I mean?
Contribute.
And I want to contribute. I want to contribute.
Yeah.
Who not necessarily I got to be the MVP or whatever, but I want you to see my work. I want you to see that. I remember when we first got to the ship, man. And I mean, I know when I first got to the ship, like, yeah, I'm leaving at like 2000, man, in the yards. We
Yeah.
putting in work. Like I'm putting in some kind of work. I might not be the best, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
work the hardest. You know what I mean? And I think we lost that along the way. So I mean, that conversation kind of always get me like riled up and hyped up because I think we lost our passion. Like if I'm gonna do this shit for 20 years, you think I'm gonna do this shit half-assed for 20 years? But if I do this for
Yeah.
6
I
months,
agree,
you think
man.
I'm gonna do this half? I was just talking to a first class today. Amazing, seller of the year. He like, yeah, I'm getting out after this enlistment. I'm getting out. He got other things to do. He got a job. He wanted like other stuff to do. But he's amazing. He one of those guys. This is a craft. Like I'm gonna be the best at this shit. You know what I mean? Until it's time for me to leave.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I answered your
Yep.
question or not.
Exactly, man. I agree. Oh no, you answered it. You answered it. I most definitely hey, everybody out there, you guys just heard like Domo, like on what he had to say about it. But I'd like to hear from some more people, man. Like a 9 to 5, that's how you thinking about this whole job, this Navy job is a 9 to 5, or you really trying to, lock in on your craft, on your job and on how you doing it. I speak I'm kind of like in the same like you speak in, man.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power. And I most definitely um, try to be the best at it, man. If I can be, I'm always, if I find something, I see something, I'm always trying to go after it. And I never try to half-ass it, man. I never want nobody even see me half-ass something, So I most definitely want to be the
Yeah, we
best too,
working.
man. But like I said, man, we need some
Yeah, we
feedback on this
working,
one, man.
and that might drive us right into this other conversation that I wanted to have with you. And it's just about other people's versions of success, right? And that that could contrast
Yeah.
like actually to the conversation that we just been having, but it might not. So, I was thinking about like from like as a junior seller, about like my version of success or whatever. Well, let's go back before junior seller. I used to work at Wendy's. And when I worked at Wendy's, it's two people there. I'm gonna talk about two people there. It was a lady named Mary and it was a dude named Rob, right? Rob was a regional manager, right? Mary worked on sandwiches, right? But she was like in her 50s or something like that. Like pretty obvious, like she retired and she just went to work at Wendy's. And all she wanted to do was sandwiches. She
Yeah.
didn't want no more responsibility than sandwiches, right? Me, I was
Yep.
this up and coming like it's funny because it's Wendy's or whatever, right? But I was like this up and coming like Wendy's worker, right? I wanted my own store. I wanted to do like every, you want your name on a board. You know what I mean? Like so it's like I want to go from fries to burgers. So I went from fries to the grill to sandwiches to the register to my own store. Eventually I quit when Rob said I could see some of myself in you. That's when I quit. Like that day, I was like, no, that's wow. Like my future, my pinnacle is not regional manager, district manager at Wendy's. That's not it for me, or whatever like that. But that's when I quit.
Yeah.
But Mary's approach was, yo, I want to make sandwiches to the best of my ability. Whatever it seemed like she had already, like I said, it seemed like she lived her life already. She probably was in her 60s or something. But she's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
sit here and make sandwiches. So like when I would go and like be like, I'm like just moving on up. And she was like happy for me. She would like make a little fun. She's like older, this Philly, so like older Italian, like she make a little fun, like, oh, you damn sellout, but meanwhile, like I'm rising up the ranks at Wendy's. But from Wendy's up through like some years in the Navy, and I want to ask you about this. My I don't know if my equation of success was mine fully, or if it was whatever the fuck Rob's was, for instance, or whoever's. So it's like, do you judge like that chief or senior chief that says like, yo, I just want to be the best ITCS. I don't want to be a command senior chief. I don't want to, do none of that. I want to be the best chief that I could be for my people. Do you judge them for not wanting to be a command senior chief, not wanting to do, this or that? Or is it like, all right, cool. Or do you think, all right, well, if you don't want to do nothing else, it's time for you to get out the military? Is it like we don't need a good ITCS? Like we still, and it's like, so it's like a question for me. Like we still need good
Yeah.
ITCSs, good ITCs, and all of that shit. Yeah, we need,
Yeah.
we need command senior chiefs and shit like that. But I think we would do a lot better if we made people what they became based off of what they want to be. Not based off of what we
Yeah.
need them as or what we want them to be or what we think should be in that pipeline or what we would say they were a failure for if they didn't become. You with me? You following me in my arm?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think, man, that the only thing I think as a leader, as if anything like that, someone's
Yeah.
else's success, it's like you have to think about it like this. Only thing I can do is tell you what I think your path could be if you wanted that. That's the thing. If you wanted that path, right? That's not saying you're not successful as a ITCS. I'm just saying that, hey, if you want to do this, this is the path I think you should take because you're good at this, right? Now, with that being said, if you tell me no, that's where the problem at. Can I accept that as your success still though? That I feel like that's the biggest thing, man. Like we can't, like if I tell you, hey, you should do this stuff, and then you say, no, I'm good. I don't want to do none of that stuff. I now think, okay, now you need to go, you need to get out the Navy. You're done. That's the problem right there, man. I think the leaders sometimes need to be like, hey, okay, you know, I do
real
need
good ITCS. Like a real good IT.
A real good ICCS. But I think that's where lies the problem, man. Like we think that we know someone else, but at the end of the day, man, your success is what you want your success to be. You know, I can dictate what I think it should be, but that's not my thing. I'm always advising. I should always be trying to lead you in a certain path. But at the end of the day, that's what I should be doing, though. I shouldn't take nothing from you if you don't want to do that. You know, and I think I've seen things like that happen in the Navy. I have seen, and another one of my other pet peeves is when somebody say they done or they getting out, right? They getting out. So because you getting out doesn't mean the world comes to an end, man. If you still got a year, I know people who put their retirement paperwork in and got a year left on their contract, and they just they start hanging it up, you know. Then you start taking things from them. No, they still got time left. You know, in the Navy, we're not giving up on their career of their success. So now they can't be successful no more because they putting their retirement in. They're done now. So, but back to the original question is, man, it's success come from the person, the person, right, or what you think success is to you. And you have to be you got to articulate yourself in a way as being a leader to not try to downplay that. You know what I mean? Because if you try to like try to belittle someone because they're not doing what you want them to do, you can lose that person a little bit too. You know, from being that great, whatever they great at right now. So you have to kind of like watch that also. But that's a great point, man. Like I think we most definitely should think about stuff like that. And I don't think we do. I don't think we think enough about what if this person don't want to do that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like they might just don't want to do that. Like that's not their mindset. That's not their path. That's not nothing they want to do. They just want to be the best at whatever they're doing and train their people on that job. Some people just love doing their job, love doing what they do. They love teaching people to do what they do type stuff. And
like it's not like a knock on the job. It's just like, what if you just don't, you know, it's almost like, and there's so many like, man, like even like, you know, I talked about this on that episode that just came out of Don't Give Up the Ship. I talked about like making senior chief and like the moment, you know, you make it, somebody like, hey man, you been an SEA, you know, you know, but it's like the face they make when they do it. Like, it's like almost like you know, you had to have been, you know what I mean? You get that PQS done, yeah, man. Like what you doing, man? Like you get that PQS done, man. You know, and it's like, and I understand it, you know, it's like, I'm not knocking it. And it's something that me personally, I am going to do, you know what I'm saying? But it's almost like like when people that's in community college, you know what I'm saying? Like like if you go to community college after high school, like you kind of don't want to say it, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm going to community for a year and then I'm doing it's almost like I don't want to say I'm not going to SEA right now. The way you looking at me, like, yo, you going to SEA? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm signed up. And you know, I am signed up and all of that. Like, you know, like I'm not, you know, it's like, I'm not one of them people that's not going. Like, what's like, who those people? You know, I'm not one of those peasants. I'm going to SEA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to be in SEA. Like, so I don't know. It's like just, and that's not just on the, like, you know, we talking on a high like enlisted side, but also on like some of the like junior enlisted side, as well, where it's like a part of your job is to like advance and do things like that. But some of these humans might have like, I'm only gonna do one enlistment. When I'm in this enlistment, my goal is boom, 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 this, and this, and they might have it and want to be the best at it. Like I do dudes like, I want to be the best GSM. I don't want a collateral. I don't want, this boom, boom, boom. I just want to be the best
Yeah.
gas turbine systems mechanic that I could be, and that's it. And it's like, damn, we do need one of them. like you said, we do need like the Bulls. They needed Rodman. Like you didn't want Rodman to be Jordan. You wanted Rodman to be Rodman. You know what I mean? So it's like I just think about that all the time. Like when we base like our definition of like success. When we look at that, like what are we looking at it? Is it ours or is it somebody else's? And I do want to say that it's been times in my life where success to me was for somebody else, whether it was for like my parents or it was for like my parent division or something like that. But success to me was like, all right, I'm gonna do this because this what such and such said, success was, get your ESWAS before becoming an E3. That's success. You know what I mean? Oh man, that's success. Let me do it. It's like, those people influence you and they motivate you. I'm that kind of person that's going to do it off the motivation. But like some people got things set in their mind, and I, like you said, I don't know if we should dictate what success is to them. Sometimes you could like shut people out that way.
I agree, man.
Yep. So, I mean,
exactly.
What about you though? Have you ever done something based off of somebody else's like definition of success, or are you able to?
I think
I was gonna say, are you able to be like, nah, I don't want to do that. I don't care if you think.
No, I have done stuff based off someone else's career path or whatever the case may be. And I'm saying that it also been things that I just haven't done and didn't want to do or whatever the case may be too though. But and I'm saying that when I was a DC-1, getting the EI letter, man. Back then when I was getting back then, it wasn't a requirement for a DC man to even try to get a ESWAT. You know what I mean? It wasn't one of those things. It didn't matter to me because I'm a DC man. You know what I mean? That wasn't DSET was my thing, like being on leading DSET and things like that. That's kind of my career path was. But I wanted to get that EI letter, man. I just wanted to get it because I knew what people outside influenced me. Like, hey man, you get that, man. You gonna be good to go for this, blah, blah, blah. So yes, I was one of those guys that was listening to that noise, right? Other things like Semio, I had opportunity to do Semio before, and I kind of like said, you know what, that's just not something that I want to do at that time. That's something that I don't want to like do right now or whatever the case may be. And it wasn't the fact that I didn't want to do it. Also, it was the fact that I had so much on my plate that I was like, I'm gonna lose something if I'm trying to do this collateral here. Because when you in charge of like DSET and you in charge of these, because DC, one thing we got programs, we got a lot of programs. I feel like if I get involved and have to do stuff, and then that was a feeling I was having. That's when I didn't know that much about the program either, though. You know what I mean? I was thinking, man, if I don't do this, I'm not gonna be able to do
Semio
my
is crazy.
job.
Semio is like a double-edged sword, man. It's like I was just talking to a seller, man, just recently, and he was saying like he was having issues, and he went to the Semio about it, and the Semio was like, yeah, I can't really do much, here to help. And I used to be a Semio, and I'm like, yeah, well, that Semio, like, yeah, in that scenario, there's not much the Semio could have done at that time, to help. And then, the seller, like, well, I told the Semio, well, my last Semio did this, to help me. It was a different scenario, but they came up with something that the last, like, it was similar. And I was the person last Semio, but I did more than, like, in this case, I like overextended, and it's like everybody don't have to overextend, but it's like now you could base like how a Semio would be off of like this person that overextended. I was just talking to somebody about that, like on a train, where it's like people are different. So it's like you might get that NC that just overextend, and then that next NC might not. But you so used to that NC that did a lot, like a whole lot more than was even required. That when that other NC like, no, I don't do that. You're like, well, what's up with this dude? It's like, nah. It's like, nah. This is how much food this is how we normally portion the plate. The last dude might have put too much food on your plate. That ain't what you don't normally.
They gonna be rolling like this.
Yeah, you don't normally get a 12-piece when you order a 9-piece. Just because you came last time and the dude gave you 3 extra wings, that don't mean that's gonna happen all the time. So so we was just talking about that, man. We was just talking about that. So what's up, man? Band of Brothers? That's what we on?
Yeah, man. Band of Brothers, man.
Yeah,
episode what? What it was? Episode 8?
Episode 8, man. The Last Patrol. Episode 8, The Last Patrol.
Yeah, man.
This is another one of my favorite episodes too. Just to
well, it wasn't one of my favorites. You know what I mean? I think, and the reason why I'm saying that is because I think it was a good episode. Don't get it twisted by me saying it was one of my best episodes. It was a good episode, but I felt like it was a little slow though. And I think because they had me so used to all the stuff that was going on, and this one actually had a good storyline too, man. I kind of like the storyline from this one. Yeah. About one of the soldiers that came back, right? So he came back to the patrol, and they was kind of like treat him like he was one of the replacements.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was kind of it was the whole story was kind of like through his eyes, on what was going on. But he kind of like felt like, hey, I've been through some stuff too. Don't get it twisted. I've been through some stuff, but there's a lot of things happened in that episode though, right?
Yeah.
I like the part where the dude I'm talking about, his last name is like it's Webster, right? That's what they call it. It's the Webster. So I like when he overheard some information about who they was gonna send on a patrol.
Yeah.
And then they got together. They pretty much made him spill the beans on who they was gonna send on this patrol, right? But he also said in that same thing, he said, "Hey, it's between us."
Yeah.
And then time they asked about it, they snitched him out quick. Yeah. Oh yeah, Webster just told us.
Yeah, they
said
did.
That shit.
Yeah, real. So it wasn't just Webster, right? It introduced another new character, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Got a new guy.
Lieutenant Jones was his name?
Yeah, Lieutenant Jones.
Lieutenant Jones, right? And you know who that is? Do you know who that is? Like the actor?
No.
It's Colin Hanks. It's Tom Hanks' son. If you look back, you're gonna be like, damn, yeah, he do. He looks just like Tom Hanks. So it's Colin Hanks. And he was like the wet behind the ear officer with the big ass bag, right? The big ass.
Let me tell you what I did get out of the episode, and I wrote this down, man. Like you can tell that West Point got more of like, okay, he's the, you know what I mean? Because he went to West Point. Yeah, he graduated from West Point, so that must just means a little bit more.
Well, it ain't mean nothing to them. It ain't mean nothing to them. Remember? Because they like
it didn't mean
like, he's like this the college boy. Like it's like the academy when they be like when like the OCS dudes be like, oh yeah, these dudes they was in the academy because it's like these like straight lace, like real clean and refined. That big ass bag. Remember when I was quarantining in Japan? And I said my roommate had like 6 bags. Like it was like the same vibe. Like, you know what I mean? So you said Webster and him, right? So they both come new and they start interact. I want us to interact a little bit more in this review. I know sometimes we go back and forth, but I just want us to kind of talk.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So you said they like start like interacting with the people that already been there. And you see Webster get kind of like the cold shoulder when he trying to get on the convoy. Like he get the cold shoulder and stuff like that. And then LT just get treated like he ain't shit. Like he's like, yo, I'm gonna go talk to the guys. The other dude like, nah, he say what he gonna say and stuff like that, right? So where you at as far as where your assessment?
Yeah, so I just like pulling out bits and pieces, man. I like the part where Jones thought he was finna get introduced to the whole team. You know, he was the only officer there. It was that some downstairs, some over there, some over here.
Yeah, they about to bend over backwards for you, man.
Yeah, man. That was kind of funny, man. But how about the kid that died, man? Last name like Jackson with the
Jackson,
grenade, right?
his
That
own
was
grenade.
on grenade, right? So the reason why that all the killing that you see, but something like that caught my attention because it said in there that uh he died at 20, but he joined at 16 by forging his
Yeah,
his name and stuff and get into the military at 16 years old, man. That was kind of stood out a little bit.
yeah. So he
You
was
know, this
growing up. He
dude,
was growing up in there.
yeah,
He was a kid, man.
yeah,
You
and
know.
died at 20 years old, man. That was kind of crazy, man. Um,
Uh,
then you got Winter still there, man. He's still in the fight.
Yeah.
He got ranked now.
Winter's
He a
that
major
dude.
now.
Winter's that dude, man. I like
Yeah,
Winters
yeah.
a lot. Like,
Winter's
yeah, Winters
he's
is
that
that
guy,
dude,
man.
man. But I'm starting to think
Uh,
I'm figuring out who the older guys in the beginning is. I think I know who Winters is. I'm not like going forward and like looking at stuff like Googling
look
stuff
back,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
I think I know who Winters is though, for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm
I
starting
don't
to
know,
think I could
man.
pinpoint. I'm starting to think I could pinpoint some of these. I think I know who Lipton is. If Lipton, survived, I think I know who Lipton is. I
Yeah.
think I know who Winters is, and stuff like that.
I
So
tell
I'm
you,
starting to
I
think I
tell
could
you
figure
this,
them out.
man. This is the episode also, man, that I probably seen the most freaking bumming during the day at, man. Like these dudes dude, I don't know if I could even do. I probably been and lost it too, man.
Yeah,
Like it's bombs going off all the time, and people are ducking, dodging. Like what is going on? Can I stand back? Can I go back a couple of miles to come up with my plan to go execute? How
yeah,
about you right there? And these dudes people just
it can
getting
happen.
bombed
Yeah, it can just happen.
like man, it's crazy,
Yeah,
man.
you saw the dude just like transiting with potatoes who died, like
Yeah,
a bag of
yeah,
potatoes. But I am a big fan of like when they connect, like when the narration connect like the last episode to like what lies ahead. So like you said, the dude opened it up with narration and stuff like that. It was pretty
yeah,
obvious that like the morale is different. It's obvious
yeah,
that like they ready for this shit to be over, and they think it's
yeah.
all but
Beat
over.
down.
They
Yeah,
think they like, damn, we pretty much this is all but over. Like, what's going on? Like, can we like?
yeah.
I know what it's like when you on like I can't compare War to like N serve or nothing, but when you on like final hour
Final
N serve, you
leg.
like, yo,
Yeah,
like, come on, when these dudes, you know, so it's all about this mission, right? The prisoner rescue mission. 15 men going into a German observation post at night, supposed to be like undetected, go in, right?
yeah,
Before all that, they gotta take showers, right? They get to take showers, which they couldn't take for a while. Remember the
yeah.
dude from the Replacements that like act like Toby Maguire wasn't shit because he wasn't there for something, but he had the medal, and then they was like, "Yo, you wasn't there either."
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
He came back around. Like he's in this episode giving the dude Webster hell for like being about to take a shower. He's like, well, pretty much like when was the last time you took a shower? Like you clean,
Yeah.
you just got out, the shower. He made my man cancel his shower, man. Like this dude said, maybe I don't need no
Yeah.
shower, man. Maybe I don't need none,
Yeah.
And then it was refreshing to see people vying to get into the fight. Like, yo, I'm trying to go. Like, this might be the only
Yeah.
time. This shit almost over. Like, I want to get out there. You know what I'm saying?
That's why Jones wanted to get in the fight, man.
Jones was
You know what I mean? He
trying
might not see
hard.
no more action.
Jones
Trying to get in a fight.
I can't imagine being
Yeah.
Colin Hanks. Like your dad is working on one of the best shows ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm working on one of the best shows ever about World War II, Band of Brothers. And you like, yo, can I be in it, Dad? No, you can't. Like this, I'm gonna get like Donnie Wahlberg and a bunch of other people. Dad, can I be in it? No, and then it's like, yo, I got a role for you. Well, who I'm gonna be?
Finally got
like,
you a
this
spot,
brand new
man.
wet behind the air officer. But it's crazy because, well, we'll get to that in a second. So, they wanted to figure out who. So they made him an observer. Like you can't even like be a part. You're gonna observe and you're gonna shoot from all the way back here somewhere. So they put the other dude in charge. What was the deal with the other dude in Webster? Like, you saw how he kept looking at him?
Yeah, well, something happened in the beginning where he was trying to make Jones like step up. Webster was trying to make Jones like step up to the plate. Like you should be doing this. But as that happening, the dude found out that Webster was doing that. And they caught eyes, like they looked at it, like I guess like Jones looked at Webster and Webster get him to nod, like go, go. But the guy caught that happening.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, motherfuckers, that's how you doing. So he was on Webster's ass
he made
after that,
he
man.
made him the translator on the team. Was Webster trying to get out of being a translator or trying to be the translator?
Well, Webster was trying to prove a point that you don't need to translate, that you are really fucking with me.
Yeah.
Because he made him a translator when he already had a translator.
But the dude fucked with him
comes
more,
out and say,
right? He fucked with him more because he got rid of the other dude, right?
Got rid of him. Pretty much say, okay, you sit this one out.
Sit it out, right? So then he told them no helmets.
Yeah.
And I'd have probably been like, hold on, man. like no helmet?
Yeah. That no helmet thing was crazy.
I understand because of the noise and whatever.
The noise and all that.
Yeah. And then, like you said, everything went bad when Jackson bursted through that door. When Jackson bursted through that door, shit just went bad. And it was over for him. I felt bad for him. Like, that part hurt me to hear when he was saying, I don't want to die. Because we didn't hear that much in this show, right?
Yeah, it wasn't that much talking, right?
Like they dying, they joking around, they in good spirits, they boom, boom, boom. But it's like, man, I could see that like spirit changing when you close to like victory anyway. Like it's like, yo, we real close. Like I don't want to die now. Like you know what I'm saying? And I don't think it was that with him. I just think he was young. Like he just didn't want to die. But it's like, imagine that. Like we like couple months, couple years, whatever away from winning this whole thing. It's like, oh, like damn. Like I couldn't die at D-Day. Like now I'm like, this is my own grenade. Like this is just a whole bad, thing, man. You said it though. Winners got promoted to major, and then I only got like 2 more thoughts. So I'm sure you got a couple more thoughts though.
Well, I kind of said my thoughts about the like the bombing stuff was kind of crazy to me though, man. Like every time that's all that was going on. Winters still, never disappoints.
Amazing.
Jones was one of the major characters in this one, right? On him trying to get in the fight, him trying to do whatever it took to be put in the line. So
and he had to pull him, dude.
Lucky for him.
You said you looking for him?
Yeah, lucky for. Yeah, no. I said lucky for him. They didn't have a officer to lead him.
Yeah,
right. So it was like right on time for him to actually get in there, but he was persistent though with trying to go though. And I think what helped him was the fact of old boy been doing it for a long time and he needed a break. So that kind of helped him to get in there. And then they had another guy that can really take charge of it. So it ain't like they threw him in the lion's den where you got to do all this stuff. He kind of like was sitting back, but he ended up being a big part of that mission though.
And he was in the lion's den, right? And he did what we've seen. I've seen this firsthand. Brand new officer in a position to stop something and like oblivious to whatever it is and don't stop it. And it happens under the officer's watch, right? We've seen that firsthand. We know the story. We've seen it firsthand.
Yep.
Same situation, right? Jones is in the same situation, like where because they about to kill these, they about to kill these Germans or whatever. And it's like, no, he stops it. Like he steps up. He's in the lion's den. But he steps up and he's like, no, this ain't gonna get us more prisoners, And then you could tell at the end, like everything came full circle. Like these dudes had respect for him. Like it's like, they shook his hand, happy, to be serving with you, shit like that. But if he wouldn't have stepped up, it would have been crazy. They would have killed these people. Like it just wouldn't have been, what they wanted to happen. So he actually did step up. It don't matter how new he was, what he didn't know, he did what he was supposed to do. And it's crazy because as I think about it, we actually saw that happen the opposite way. We saw a brand new officer, not even brand new to like anything, just brand new to a division, like not know what to do in a certain situation when they could have, stopped something from happening or something like that. You know what I mean?
It's that West Point, man. But yeah, though he didn't only like step in, man. He was aggressive too.
No, he pulled him.
You know what I mean? His step in was like a really aggressive. Like you're right, man. Like this ain't gonna get us nothing.
He ripped the ball off. He ripped the dude off the, then he ripped the other dude. Then he went back to the dude like, yo, this ain't gonna do nothing, dog. Like he followed through. He did everything, you supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree, man. Good show, man. Good show. We have
got another point.
Oh, go ahead.
I got
you got
my
another?
last point. It was poignant, man. The whole thing about the price paid by soldiers. And they was like, yo, the war almost over. The hotels in Florida the hotels in Miami already packed. They already packed. There's people in pools. There's people having a great time. In America, they living like this thing is done, and it's like, yo, I wonder if they really know and understand the price, paid by soldiers over here. We still losing people over there, And it was like, I think about that when I think about, like we just talked earlier about the war in Afghanistan. And people like winning silver stars and stuff like that. It's like, yo, while that shit was happening, like some of us was going to work, going to school, living a normal life, doing the normal shit that you would normally do when there's people out here protecting the country. Even when we go on patrols or we go on deployments, our families are over here like safe, bro, safe and sound. And it's danger in other places, but it's like y'all oblivious to like what we doing out there, on a watch at night. But these guys are, of course, it's an elevated, sense because they at war. Like every day, like you said, it's bombs every day, all day. You know what I mean? Weather conditions crazy. America's over here like living normal life. Stocks going up. Whatever it is happening. That's just sick.
That was cool. You caught that. That was cool. You caught that moment though too, man. Like that was kind of like one of those times in a movie that you kind of like caught that when he said that. Like, it was an important part of this show on him talking about, they specifically, it seemed like they specifically said that for a reason though.
Yeah, man, it's tough. That's it, man. That's it for that review.
So yeah, man, we got 2 episodes left, man.
Yeah, of Band of Brothers.
2 episodes left, man, and I can't wait to get to the next one, man. Like every episode I done watched been pretty good of Band of Brothers, man. So waiting on the next one, trying to wait to have. I'm really looking forward to the end, to tell you the truth, so I can know who's who, and all that type of stuff, man. Like if you guys don't know, we always talking about the people, the soldiers who talks in the beginning of the episodes, man, and like almost every time I hear them talk, it is some kind of powerful messages make you like. I look forward to that part too, them talking in the beginning. So you listening to them, so it's pretty good
stuff, man. Good show. Can't wait to actually review it. Can't wait to actually review it. We just kind of highlight the episodes and stuff like that. But for me, it's good, being able to talk to everybody being able to hear my voice. Hey, continue to interact. I mean, we get people that send us DMs answering questions of ours and want to come. NC1 man, we can't wait to talk to you. We cannot wait to talk to you. I just want you to know that it's NC1 man that we need to talk to, Damon, about DMAT. So we cannot wait to talk to her, man. I can't wait to have that conversation, man. Thank you for giving us feedback and being patient with us as our schedule continuously changes and stuff like that. Hey, again, like I always say, I love you guys and I appreciate your support, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, make sure, man, you guys share. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you do all that for us, man. Holla at your people, man.
Peace
Mississippi
out.
stand, dude. Yeah, yay.